Jeff, your video from last night, the high quality video.
Where's it come from? They put it on the Facebook page.
So hello, namaste. My name is Jefferson Glassy. I am the chief spiritual dude of the Planetary Gig Society, whose mission is making connections through music with the intention of bringing peace, which is rather sort of kindred spiritish to the spiritual home for artists right here. We're very pleased to be here. Planetary Gig Society is helping to sponsor this event. I am really privileged to be able to play with Roy Future Man Wooten. Five Grammys right here, Bela Fleck and the Flecktones. And they don't, as I say, they don't call him Future Man for nothing. And I've been learning that the nicest people are the smartest people too. And Roy meets that one. He's such a nice person, and he's playing with us. And also tonight, John Tinger's right back there.
Special guest.
Is going to be playing.
Guitarist.
Yeah, right after the intermission, after we all
Take
get
a
some
little intermission, stretch.
cocktails and stuff.
Yeah.
So the idea is really that we know that music is unbelievably powerful. If you get in a car and driving down the road, you turn on the music, it changes your attitude. And if you've been to Wooten Woods,
She was there.
I mean, you know. I mean, at Spirit of Music Camp, I mean, we literally see how you can put your intention out and it can reach people that you're intending to reach. And so this is sort of a butterfly's way, and you can explain.
Yeah, this is a concert for humanity. What is that? It's kind of like with music and sound, it's sort of like we're not just in this room, we're actually pressing upon the ethers of reality. And there's a Dr. Ibrahim Karim said, if you imagine if I take a little triangular shape and I'm in a boat in the water, and I put that little shape in the water, boom, the water, you're going to see the effects of that little triangle affect the water ripples way beyond what you originally did. He said, so a lot of times our intention in what we're doing here is like that. We're creating a butterfly effect. We're creating ripples, pulses. There's a book called Pulse, rhythm. We're working with rhythm and music, and somehow it's not just here, but it's resonating with reality. And so I'm just happy to be able to jam with them tonight.
Yeah, and our intention, I mean, in Victor's book, The Music Lesson, the Michael the teacher says, intention is the key to everything. And musicians and artists who have such power, we're just suggesting, let's really put this with intention that we can accomplish something really important for our world and our society and our grandchildren and everybody else. So that's what we're sort of doing here. We got a few songs, I call them intentional songs. John sort of plays meditative music. And this is very much a please join in, sing, if you know it, and there'll be some things while you'll get parts. But if you want to make some change, if you want to do something, you do have to have that intention or vision. So what would be our vision of a better world? Can we start out with what's our goal? And so this song kind of lays out a vision of how we can look at life. Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and for you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, bright blessed day and the dark sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Roy's going to give you a little vision though. Colors of the rainbow are so pretty in the sky. They're also in the faces of the people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, as Louis would say, what a wonderful world. Thank you. So we're starting out, we've got a vision, a little bit of a vision. But we know that there are people who want to get in the way, who want to put obstacles, divide us a little bit. And my favorite song that I ever learned, first song I ever learned, is Freight Train by Elizabeth Cotton. You know that song? Yeah. I sort of do a Travis Pickett version of it. But
what was the story of that train?
The train, the sort of the backstory of this is back in the South in the day where we are, between 1890 and 1930, there was an average of one person lynched or burned alive every 4 days. And so you can understand in that kind of society that you might want to get out. But the people didn't want people to get out. And the people didn't really want to leave. And they did want to come back, but they couldn't stay. But if you were trying to get away, you better not tell them what train you're on.
Yeah, so we dance around the subject of race relations here. And so people are having problems. So people are trying to get out of town, and they might not want people to know what train they're getting on.
And nowadays, people who may need reproductive care also may have to try to get out of town.
Yes.
And people don't want them to get out of town.
Yes.
So it's kind of an interesting little fun song that, you know, like many, has deeper truths. So
I'll be the train.
he's the train.
Choo choo.
Shaker eggs work. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. Oh, please don't tell them what train I'm on. so they won't know where I've gone. Freight train, coming round the bend. Freight train, going back again. Oh, one of these days, turn that train around, take me back to my hometown. Let's hear some more train.
Shake it.
Yeah. There's one more place I'd love to be. One more place I'd love to see. Watching the Blue Ridge Mountains climb as I ride on number 9. Hollywood, yeah.
Nice shakers, change, yes. Shakers, wakers.
So we got our vision. We're putting it out there. We've got a recognition of people who want to put obstacles up in front of us. Then you got to pick out, like, which side are you on? And I don't know if anybody has ever heard this song before, but I first heard it and it sounded kind of like this. Which side are you on, boys? Which side are you on? You know that? Hazel Dickens. She was singing, well, actually it was written by Florence Reese back in the 30s. And she was singing about the Union coming into the coal mines in West Virginia. You was from West Virginia? Where are you? Yeah. Yeah, it's big. It was a big deal. And I love the song, but sort of my theory of life is us versus them is kind of fear based, and it's up. You know, I wasn't, and I didn't know how to sing those words. They didn't quite fit. So I was talking to this fellow named Stephen J.
Oh, bass player.
Yeah, you want to tell him about Stephen J?
Stephen J is a bass player that plays with Weird Al Yankovic. But before he played with Weird Al, man, he was like really on a search. And he and his wife had moved to Mali because he was going to go study with the Dogon priests in Mali. And the Dogon priests had these are the priests that showed astronomers about Sirius A, B, and C before they had telescopes, and they discovered that they were correct, you know. So they learned a lot of stuff, and he talked about all the stuff he learned from them about music and stuff. And the way they viewed music was that music was like, sort of like the force. When people are talking about God and the creator and this kind of thing, he said it comes down to this frequency, this vibration, this conscious force that we know as music and many other things. And he said that music knows you the way you know your instrument. You know, so they say like that. You might. What do you name your instrument? This is guitar.
This is Luna.
Yeah. So the guitar's name is Luna. So they say what we consider inanimate objects are really alive. They have a consciousness, but it's not maybe as liquid as ours. So the guitar is sort of aware that it's being played. You know, like we know the wind is coming. We don't really all the way know what makes the wind and stuff like that, but they're aware of it. But he said the relationship of how you know your guitar and the guitar doesn't know you the same way is the relationship of music that knows you. And you don't know music the same way back. Music is a conscious force. So it was like, wow. So he just learned a lot of heavy, cool, deep, rich stuff. He said when you play with heart. Don't play halfway because it can make you sick. It's like you got to play with feeling, you know. So.
And I met Stephen at Wooten Woods.
Yeah.
One of the things we do at Planetary Gig Society is podcasts about the power of music. I've had the pleasure to interview Roy and Victor and Stephen and many folks. And I just happened to be talking with him about this. I love this song, but it irritates me because it's "Which Side Are You On?" And he said, well, you know, you don't have to be like opposed to somebody. It doesn't have to be like that. You could be in favor of good stuff and not in favor of like Nazis or something. So I changed the words around, made up some chords. It kind of sounded like it, and it goes like this. And you're welcome
Can
to
I say
sing.
one more
Yeah,
thing
go ahead,
before we
sure.
start? I thought of it too very personally, like in life, we're all facing odds. We're all on a personal hero's journey. You know, Joseph Campbell talked about the hero's journey. In your life, there's going to be people in your life that are going to be enemies, and then you're going to have mentors that help you to get where you're going. But on this hero's journey, there's a thing where, like, maybe you're called to do something in your life, and they said in the hero's journey, the hero can refuse the call. There's the refusal of the call and the acceptance of the call. So on which side are you on? I think of it like that.
Yeah.
Which side are you on? Are you accepting the call of your life, what you're supposed to do, or are you sort of shying away from it? You're refusing the call. So which side of y'all on sort of comes to like that? You wake up on the wrong side of the bed. Which side are you on right now? Do you remember what you were trying to do? This kind of thing. So
Yeah.
there's a spirit, you know, you can
It's
throw
sort of,
into
you know,
it.
what's your goal in it all?
Yeah, don't forget what you're here to do. Don't forget. All right.
All right. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Pansies and sunflowers and roses still in bloom. Honey and the silver dew fresh under the moon. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Copper trees and golden leaves, spider at the loom. The swan sets sail on the breeze in clean air, we presume. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Little girls and ribbon curls and mint ice cream in June. Sisterly harmonies floating across the room. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? The pistols, brass knuckles, poised to clash at noon. Machetes and severed heads, the word of the royal buffoon. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? You know me, I'm for love and peace real soon. Playing songs around the fire underneath the moon. Underneath the moon. So which side are you on, y'all? Which side are you on? Which side are you on, y'all? Which side are side of the pansies and the sunflowers and stuff, and not on the side of the royal buffoon. Not thinking of anybody in particular, just they tend to run like that.
There's your pick.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, good eye, good eye, good eye.
But you know, we do need kind of a process to be able to figure out how to have a society where everybody's not killing each other to decide what they're going to do. And you know, democracy's a pretty good one. And one thing I've been learning a lot, boy, you sure learn a lot from books. Anybody here read Braiding Sweetgrass? Whew, man, that was a great book. Robin Wall Kimmerer, she's an Onondaga, which is Haudenosaunee. They're a tribe, indigenous people from up sort of northeast New York, Canada. And, you know, they just have, their whole perspective is just different. I mean, they're from different, but, and so the origins of democracy, some might think, well, that, in the U.S., that could be Greece, maybe, but
Seemed like Rome.
what I think it's one of those whitewashed history things is that in 1142, possibly, that's what I've heard, there were these 5 warring tribes, the Mohawk, Seneca, Oneida, Cayuga, one other one. And they would live in this eye for an eye, you know, that somebody killed their people over here, they'd kill their people over there, and it went around. So the great peacemaker, maybe was a mythical person, but I think there was a person, and he came to Hiawatha. Have you heard the story a little bit?
Keep going.
And Hiawatha went to the tribes, and they convinced him to adopt a system of checks and balances among the tribes, where they would make decisions peacefully, consensus-based decision making, and the women chose the chiefs. They had the ultimate power. And Benjamin Franklin learned about this in 1749 or something. You know, he was a newspaper editor, you know, book publisher, and he brought the Haudenosaunee to the Albany Convention, and they talked with the founders about some of these things, and we adopted a lot of what the checks and balances that came from the Haudenosaunee. The Iroquois Confederacy is what other people called them. They called themselves the Haudenosaunee, and it's a really instructive kind of tale, and I'm just learning so much of the whole sort of indigenous history has been whitewashed in general, not just them. So this is a song called "I Am the Great Peacemaker," and you have 2 singing parts. I know people don't always like singing parts, but you know.
You just kind of fall in there like you're a native.
Yeah. So the first one is it's like this. I am the great peace, I am the great peace, I am the great peacemaker. Okay, you got that? Good. You'll hear it when it comes around on the guitar, to quote Arlo Guthrie. And the other one is, imagine indigenous people celebrating, hollering, you know, out around the fire, just so thankful that they're here in nature and how beautiful everything was, and just, you know, cries of celebration and happiness, and, you know, like probably you do out here at their drum circles, that kind of thing. So it goes like this. Oh, 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 oh.
Just kind of fall in there.
All right, here we go. I am the great peacemaker.
Okay.
I flew in on the back of a duck. This time around we're gonna have some luck. great peace. I am the great peacemaker. I am the great peace. I am the great peace. I am the great peacemaker. Hiawatha took me to the clan, and we hatched a harmonious plan. The 5 nations agreed that the fighting would cease, so they adopted the great law of peace. And we laid down our weapons and planted a great pine tree, and the people of the longhouses agreed to all be free. And the women of the clan would always have the choice to select their chief leaders and give everyone a voice. They called us the Iroquois Confederacy. We called ourselves the Haudenosaunee. Okay, here comes the part. Oh, 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 hey, 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 oh, oh, hey, oh, 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 hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, oh, hey, oh, great peace. I am great peacemaker. I am the great peace. I am great peace. I am great peacemaker. I am the great peacemaker. That was really good. That was really good.
Yes.
So I did write that song because I think we have so much we can learn from indigenous people. Another book, oh man, it's such a good book. Tyson Junkaporta, it's called Sand Talk. He's an Aboriginal guy, but the byline of the book, How Indigenous Thinking Can Save the World.
Yeah.
We need to go back and to figure out how humans got to where we got before we screwed it up and learn some of those truths. And artists and musicians, let's put our intention out there to help us get there.
And speaking of books, I got a chance to participate in a book that Jefferson Glassey wrote. He just wrote that song, but he wrote a book. And that's where I learned about the Haudenosaunee, because one of the characters was a Haudenosaunee.
Yeah.
And the book is called Fonging for the World.
Fonging for the world.
Fonging is some kind of songing, rhythm, music making, weird sound,
Yeah.
healing.
Bringing the healing sounds of the universe, to, out through. Tell 'em.
You should tell them.
You take that rack out of your oven and you tie shoestrings around it. You tie the other end of the shoestrings and you put it on your fingers and you bend over slightly from the waist and you put your fingers in your ears and people tap on the. You've done it?
I did it with coat hangers when I was.
Coat hangers, yes.
Yeah.
It's another
I
branch of
get high on
fonging.
it, I try anything.
And people tap on the rack with wooden salad forks and knives and spoons and turkey basters. Poof. And it makes this amazing sound in your head, which are the healing sounds of the universe.
Like gongs and
Yeah.
glockenspiels and chimes and
So inspired by Victor Wooten's The Music Lesson and Spirit Music books, where he was like, man, why not do a soundtrack for a book? I'm like, that's so cool. We got to do it. But I had to write a book, so I made up all this stuff. And asked Roy to write a little part for it kind of at the end, and he read it into his phone, and he's an amazing, he has a great voice, he's an amazing narrator, so we have 2 audiobooks on Fonging for the World. We can tell you more about it later.
Yeah.
We're not trying to sell books, we're just trying to promote the healing sounds of the universe.
Yeah, this is cool. Gutierrez is a saxophone player, composer guy, and what's cool about this is musicians are he's doing an audio book and putting a soundtrack to the book. So there's it's like scoring a movie, scored the book. I had a friend do all the sound effects, so the sound of the Fong is in there, and it's like, we think it's a new genre for musicians to kind of
Yeah, I mean, Victor can do it, but
behind their stuff. Yeah.
I can do it. This old guy can do it. Dave, you know Michael? In the book, The Music Lesson?
Yeah.
Michael's the narrator of the soundtrack book. Dave Welsh, you know Dave Welsh?
No.
From Wooten Woods? He did pulling it together with 18 characters,
He
a
did
bunch of
soundtrack.
songs.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's fun. So more ways that musicians can really, we can make a difference, like the butterfly's wings.
Yes.
Okay. This is actually a song from that book because you know that one of the things that gets in the way of our being able to be competent and peaceful and good to the earth is money, and it kind of needs to flow. It's a currency, right?
It's currency. It's a current, just like water, running water. It gets stagnant if it just stands. So it's a living current. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Sea.
it's life shouldn't be defined by money. Can we change that attitude? Maybe musicians can do that. Artists, dancers. Here we go. Money's like a river. You know, money is like a river, just saying, needs to flow. Gets all hung up in a bank vault somewhere. The kids downstream cannot grow. And it's just the same with your blood. Needs to get to those extremities. If it gets all clotted up in your heart, it'll bring you right down to your knees. So let's take money off the altar and focus on what's good and right, and all live and be together and sing our song in the night. And it seems to be the same in society, 'cause everybody needs a little dough. But if there's too many of those friggin' billionaires, there just ain't enough coin to show. So let's take money off the altar and focus on what's good and right. Can all live and be together and sing our song in the night. And all live and be together and sing our song in the night. Yeah, man, money is just gotten totally out of control. And we were talking today, and it's in the book a little bit about it.
Yeah, it's interesting though, like, because currency and current, if you stick your finger in a socket, you can get really shocked. And so sometimes people get a lot of money all at once, and it's like having a lot of currency. And if you're not grounded, it can make you crazy if you're not ready for it. So, like, we go to Europe, right, and their current is like 220 or something. And ours is at what is ours? 1 something. And so to handle that, we have to have a transformer to step it down to something that we can handle with it. And so I think sometimes our education and our wisdom and stuff, when you get a lot of money, is just like that. You're the transformer to be ready for all of this current that's flowing. So that's the two-edged sword, you know, to it. We got to be ready for stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know that if you don't have any money, your poverty and whatever, it kind of it's like a fear of not being able to survive. It's just debilitating.
Yeah.
George Orwell says that poverty annihilates the future. And I think, so what's it with all these rich people who have billions of dollars and just want more? It's the same fear-based thing. It's a fear of not having enough money. Can you imagine you're Elon Musk and you want more money? I mean, so it's just kind of crazy. We're going to now go back to the 1960s. I don't know. Anybody remembers this song? Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now.
Oh yeah.
That's your part. We'll come around and when you see love is but the song we sing, and it feels the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the boat is on the way, and you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Again, come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. When the one that left us here comes for us at last, we are but a moment's sunlight, and we're fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Yeah. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. You wanna hit it? Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. I see. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, then you will understand. Listen. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both, and it's there at your command. Come on, people now, small brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, one time. Come on, people now, small brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. One more time. Come on, people now, small brother, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now. It seemed like we were changing the world pretty good there in the 60s for a while, and I don't know what happened. Old people got worried about money, was that what it was? What?
Bullets.
Anyway,
Yes.
get that spirit back somehow. Music led the way then. Maybe it can lead the way now. You just need some people to jump up.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, like I really believe in, like, you know, musicians and artists and everybody really remembering what it is that you're trying to do. If you're writing your song, to believe in that song and do it, because, you know, a lot of times I ask people, like, let me ask you here, how many people have heard of Mozart? Right? Even though you might not be classical musicians, you've heard of this guy Mozart, right? Now, how many people here know who the king was during Mozart's time? The king, the president, the leader of the country, right? See, you remember the artist, but you don't remember all the other stuff. So, you know, when you're watching the news and stuff, don't get too hung up on it. Really remember what it is that you came to say, what it is that you came to write. Because after so many years, people still remember the art and the artists and what they had to say. And Francis Bacon said that when you write a story or something, you're like sending an arrow, a message in a bottle through the sea of time that will outlast your life. And that message doesn't grow weaker with time. It grows in strength over time. See what I'm saying? Like Mozart wrote that music so long ago. So it's something that defies physics. Your little something grows in strength over time. Shakespeare, those words are stronger now maybe than they were during that time. They grow in strength. So don't get too distracted by the news. Don't get too distracted by social media. Really remember really what's inside of you and try to let that blueprint blossom.
yeah. There's interesting points in the last couple of verses of that song. Love and fear. You hold the key to love and fear. It's all in your trembling hand. Only one. What is it? Only one key unlocks it. What is that? What is that key that unlocks that?
Oh, they do talk about love and fear.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just one key unlocks them both. So, I would say the key to letting go of fear and getting toward love is gratitude and forgiveness, letting go of that fear. And that takes us into a whole other conversation that we could spend a long time talking about, because at Wooten Woods at Spirit of Music Camp, they will talk about Ho'oponopono and A Course in Miracles, and it's pretty deep. Now, what does that have to do with music? Well, in some ways it has everything to do with music, but Roy was a big fan of the Course in Miracles, and that's a hard book to read, and I read a little bit, but the book that really grabbed me, that was based on is Love is Letting Go of Fear, and that's where it kind of comes together, letting go of fear, forgiveness. Do you remember I hate to put you on the spot. Do you remember this?
Yeah, you know, to me, with the Course in Miracles, it's like, you know, you hear the Course in Miracles, Course in Miracles, Course in Miracles. But I remember this story came out where this woman says that she's hearing the voice of Jesus speak to her. That's the story. You believe it or not, but that's the story. She said, Jesus is speaking to me in the first person, and I'm not into it. I'm an atheist. Why are you talking to me? Right? And so she shows that she's a psychiatrist. She's totally not into it. So she shows her supervisor, look at this, man. This voice is coming, says Jesus talking to me in the first person. I don't even believe in Jesus. I'm an atheist, right? And he looks at it, he said, this is beautiful. You need to keep writing. So she says, well, as long as the English is proper, she's going to do it, right? So she did this thing and became the Course in Miracles. So the idea is Jesus speaking in first person. So I see this magazine. I like to hear these stories because my grandmother.
How old were you then? How old were you?
I was working at Busch Gardens at the time. So, you know, I'm in late teens, maybe early 20s or something like that. And I see this magazine. And I said, well, let me see how Jesus might talk. There's a page open. So we looked at it. And I still remember what it said. It said, only the veil that is drawn across reality is lifted. Nothing has changed. Yet the awareness of changelessness comes swiftly as the veil of time is pulled aside. And I was like, it's pretty good. Right? So yeah, it is a little thick to read. But you know, even in Jesus' time, when he would get with his disciples on the side, and they say, dude, man, can you break down what you was talking about? And he said, yeah, what I'm saying is easy for a baby to understand. But I'm saying it in a way that you won't understand. I was like, what kind of dude is that? I'm saying it in a way that you won't understand. He wants you to think about it rather than just spoon feeding you the answer. So it's a lot of times, it's like your dreams when you dream at night. It doesn't tell you exactly what it is. It gives it to you sideways, and you got to think about it. It's like, okay. So anyway, that's the spirit, I think, you know, with the Course in Miracles. It's just the story is kind of unbelievable, right? And she was embarrassed by it and not into it at all. People coming to her, wanting her autograph for it. She was like, no, I'm not seeing no Course in Miracles people, right? And so somebody said, he said, well, all this stuff came through you. How come you don't practice it? And she said, well, I don't believe it, but I know it's true. That was her answer. I don't believe it, but I know it's true. So it's just this, you know, life plays tricks and stuff. Life is always playing tricks. And she was, you know, an atheist, and this thing happened to her. And see, a lot of times when we talk about Course in Miracles, we lose that story. We just looking at this book with all of this stuff. But the story is the thing. It's like, oh, okay. So.
And for me, it's the teaching of what's love, what's fear, what's forgiveness. I mean, you know, there's some really profound things you can learn from books and from inquiring. And you can bring it to your music and your art and whatever you do in life. And if you don't do it, who is going to?
And the book that Jefferson mentioned was a guy that was inspired by the Course, but he tried to write it in a more simpler way, some of
really
the essence.
Simple, great book.
And one of the bold things that is said in the Course in Miracles is when you come down to it, humans have two emotions. It's either love or fear. It either falls on the side of love or it falls on the side of fear. Jealousy, hatred, envy, you know, or love. And I say that a lot of times, even love, it's really love and a distortion of love. Right? And so somebody was explaining, he said in life, you know, the little boy likes the little girl, so he pulls her hair. A lot of times in this world, people do the opposite of what they mean. And a lot of times, the opposite of what people really mean is what's happening in life. It's a distortion on what, we don't even know how to say what it is that we mean or to express what it is that we really feel. We're clumsy. And it's like love falling all over itself, and it's backwards at first. You know, you pick on the little girl because you like them. You know, this kind of, he said, that's happening in life all the time. So there's a big distortion going on. So.
But, you know, we can bring our, you know, intention into our life, and through music is a great way. This is, I guess, just hope kind of brings this together, I think. I hope. Song that we wrote, my wife and I wrote, and some friends of ours came around and said, oh, we got this great new chord progression we like. And we said, oh my God, we should write some words. And they said, well, you write the words. So it's called Our Grandchildren Are Watching. And it kind of hopefully wraps this together. You know, there's a purpose. There's a reason for doing these things. And there should be a reason for playing music too. It's bigger than ourselves. So it goes like this. couple old trees. They know more than we do and give us the air we breathe. We can climb a mountain and go where the snow had been. Mother Earth is asking to balance her again. Can you smell the flowers? Hear the geese in fall? Taste the honeysuckle. Feel the wonder of it all. This is the time for us to remember who we are. Not us, then who? Who will come to the rescue? So call the sisters and call the brothers too. Our grandchildren are watching what we're gonna do. 'Cause this is the time for us to remember who we are. If not us, then who? Who will come to the rescue? So call the sisters and call the brothers too. Our grandchildren are watching what we're gonna do. Our grandchildren are watching. So what are we gonna do? Thank you very much. So I hope you enjoyed the first part of this. And John Tinker's sitting back there and he's going to play a little bit.
Take a little intermission.
Take a little intermission time for a mocktail. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed and
Come back in just a little bit.
and keep the shaker eggs too. Don't forget
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
from the bass and then one sympathetic vibration, couldn't figure out what that is. Well, excited did not have a problem. The humming, let me bring that in.
Huh.
I don't have a name for either of them. I have two albums. Well, one's a suite. I got more than two, but recently I released a 4-song suite called Suite for a Simpler America. And it's supposed to just basically be my instrumental tone poems of reflections of a better time, a simpler time in this country. And 2 months after that, back in I think early March, a month and a half ago, I released another album called The Other Side of the Wave. So these ones I'm doing now, these first two, they're not on there, but I'm going to play some stuff from that soon. So.
John came up from Alabama, and sometime there may be guitar people that might be interested in learn what he's doing or learn from him and stuff. And I think, John, you brought some cards and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Got some cards up here.
I'm out of it today. I'm not really with it.
Here you go.
You don't sound out of it.
Huh?
You don't sound out of it.
Oh, yeah. This next one is from Suite for Simpler America. And the name of this is Simpler America. And I introduce it with an old classic folk song.
Nice.
You didn't recognize it last night? Shenandoah?
Okay.
Yeah, basically it's got the,
Yeah.
it's one of my old favorite folk songs.
Nice.
That's part of it. wrap it up with something on this guitar,
All right.
and I'm gonna do complete improvisation. This one actually. What am I gonna do? This one's called "Song for the Heart." What's the name of this one? This one's on my current one I did, the other side of the waves. You can get it on all the digital streaming stations or on Bandcamp.
John
Tinker, yeah. It's like finger with a T.
Tinker.
people gets annoying. They're starting to buzz so bad. I had to make it sound like it stopped the song right there. And go. They can totally ruin the mood. I'm gonna use the nylon. Great.
It's 10:01, so we can bring it home. Good old beautiful nylon.
Oh yeah, I love the sound of the nylon string guitar.
Thank you all for coming tonight and taking this journey with
Thank you.
us. And we're like each butterflies. Every move that we make somehow adds to the rhythm of the world.
Is this a different mic that I was using last night, or is it the same one?
Same.
That is? The volume seems, it picks up better in here from the room we were in last night.
It's good acoustics.
Yeah. Gonna resituate. Jeff, can you help me here for a minute? Situate this. The mic is situated more, so it's like,
Facing
you
you?
might have to move.
Facing you?
Yeah, just don't want to like angle.
Facing you?
Yeah, it falls down right there. Yeah, there we go. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. I just need to.
You want to stand on the other side or?
I told you.
Lassie, you want to have the last word, Jefferson? I want to thank you all for coming out. Concert for Humanity.
Yes, thank you.
John Tinger, Jefferson Lassie, I'm Roy, Future Man Wooten.
Yeah,
We're all butterflies. We're caterpillars on the way to becoming butterflies still.
yeah, we'll make it all happen. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yes. And, yeah. Yeah.